So as you probably already know, Nintendo is coming out with the Super NES Mini later this year, sometime in September. But gamers already knew Nintendo was going to make a Super NES Mini. After the NES Mini came out on the market, it pretty much rocked sales for Nintendo's. The sales for the NES Mini were absolutely fantastic for Nintendo. It's just a shame that Nintendo did discontinue it so early in its lifespan. They should have easily kept that going, or at least they should have told gamers or people that the NES Mini is going to be a limited time thing. It's going to be like a holiday sale or just a limited time deal. It's not going to be on the market forever. That's why so many people were pissed off about it, because Nintendo never announced it, and then when it was too late, now they're selling on eBay for like thousands and hundreds of dollars for this little NES Mini that only supposed to go for $60 US retail, which is absolutely nuts. That's people are scalping them. It's funny right now that on eBay, if you go to eBay right now, people are actually trying to scalp the Super NES Mini. Yes, people are trying to scalp the Super NES Mini even before it comes out. I actually saw a comment on another YouTube video that one guy already had 3 pre-orders already pre-ordered. I'm smiling right now because that is absolutely insane. So if you want to try to get a hold of one of these things, you have to try to get it as soon as possible. Of course, this is not a serious game console. It's more of like a novelty item, like a gift. Not really a gag. It works perfectly fine. Everything. It's going to be cool. It's going to be just like the NES Mini. But the reason I am actually talking about the Super NES Mini again is because I didn't know it had a couple things up its sleeve that make it actually a very cool product and actually worth owning. I'm going to tell you why it's worth owning. Not because it's mini, not because it's a cool novelty item. Not to say that you have a little box that plays emulation games that looks like a Super NES. That's not the reason. The reason is I did not know this, because if you didn't know, I wasn't born around the time that the NES and Super Nintendo came out, so I was not aware of this. But apparently, I've been looking around the internet on other YouTube videos and articles, and apparently this is the first time that everyone's going to be to officially play Star Fox 2. Apparently, Star Fox 2 was never released on the Super Nintendo. It was already done. It was already fully completed and everything, but they decided not to. I think because the Super Nintendo was already old at that point, and the N64 was coming out, so they just skipped it and made the one on 64, Star Fox 64, and they never actually released Star Fox 2. I heard you can actually play it through ROM hacks and things like that, but not the official complete one from Nintendo. So that is cool. You can play Star Fox 2. So this is going to be the only true way to play Star Fox 2. So that's actually going to make more people want to buy this thing, just because Star Fox 2 is included, and this is the only official way to play Star Fox 2. Technically, since this is a new game, what I think Nintendo should do with Star Fox 2, they should actually either re-release it, or better yet, just make it an HD version and release it to the Switch, whether it's on the Virtual Console or whether it's on a true remake. They could just call it Star Fox 2 HD version for the Switch, because we know how many people have Switches, and Switches are becoming more and more easy to find out in the wild. Recently, I was out to like Target, Best Buy, Walmart, where I usually like making my runs and checking up on the Nintendo stuff. Unfortunately, the Joy-Cons are really hard to find, so if you're looking for Joy-Cons, you're pretty much out of luck when it comes to the colored Joy-Cons. You can find Actually, I found a couple of Pro controllers too, so Pro controllers are becoming more easy to find, but when it comes to the color Joy-Cons, you cannot find any of them, and that's actually making me really mad right now, because I do want the blue neon Joy-Cons in specific, and it's pissing me off that you can't. Also, Nintendo is releasing a Pro controller based off of Splatoon. It is coming to America, and I know GameStop is going to be selling it, so if you want that, I suggest you try to pre-order that as soon as possible. I think you can already pre-order that at GameStop, so if you want the Pro Controller Splatoon Edition with like the pink and the green arms on the Pro Controller, the little grips that look different colors, you might as well try to jump on that as soon as possible, because we know how hard that is going to be to find after Splatoon releases. A lot of people are going to want that item as well. But it's just a shame too that Star Fox 2, the only official way you can play the final full version, is going to be on the Super NES Mini, and that's just the same, because we know how hard it is for a lot of consumers to actually buy this thing. It's going to be so hard, and Nintendo's probably going to end up discontinuing it again. Hopefully, after they discontinue the Super NES Mini, I'm hoping that they release it in the Switch whether it's the virtual console or an HD remake or something like that to the main masses, so that you don't have to go ahead and try to find a ROM. Even if you get a ROM hack or a ROM of or Star Fox 2, it's not the same thing because it's not the official one, not the complete one. It's not the original version. I think it's a little bit different. I'm hearing. I'm not sure about that as well. Not going to go into too much detail about that. And then there's also one other thing they are fixing on the Super NES Mini. Everyone knows that on the original NES Mini that came out last year, people were complaining that the controller cord was so short that you had to sit like 1 inch away from your either your TV or your computer monitor. And it was really frustrating, especially if you're playing on a TV. It was more frustrating. I don't blame people, and that really sucks. It kind of sucked that you had to buy some third-party, either an extension cord or go wireless with this thing. Actually, I seen a video where somebody was using the Nyko wireless controller for the NES Mini or NES Classic, and to be fact, that thing did not work at all, at least in the video I saw. So I don't know what's going on with Nintendo. But the good news is, there is 2 good news about the Super NES Mini. First off, Nintendo, it looks like, is going to be making more supply of this because they know how well the NES Mini did sell. Hopefully, they'll keep this thing on the market a little bit longer, but knowing Nintendo, they're probably going to end up discontinuing it in 2 weeks, let's be honest. Now, of course, I am exaggerating, but honestly, I would not be surprised. It's Nintendo. They stopped producing stuff right away, like the Joy-Cons. Where are those neon Joy-Cons I just keep mentioning? Where are they? They need to restock those bad boys so I can pick up a blue one, and I don't have to go to eBay or Amazon and pay like $100 and some for Joy-Cons, which are only selling for around $80 retail. It's just really a shame. So hopefully they keep it longer, and the stock issue is longer on the NES, on the Super NES Classic. Who really knows what Nintendo is gonna do? I would not be really surprised about that. Those are just some things that that I noticed about the Super NES Classic that's coming out on the market. This will be the first time you will ever get to play Star Fox 2 officially. I say apparently because I'm not quite sure about that, but I've been looking up a lot of articles and other YouTube videos about it, and yes, it looks like this is the first time Star Fox 2 is officially being released. And it's funny too that the Super Nintendo is so old that now. I think it's like 20 plus years. Don't quote me on that, but I think the Super NES is 20 plus years, and now we're finally getting to play Star Fox 2 for the first time. And the funny thing is, technically it's coming to the masses, but technically it's not coming to mainstream because we know how hard this thing is going to be to buy. And also in my other video I didn't state the price, but it looks like the price for this thing is going to be $80. But for 21 games, and considering you're getting 2 controllers in the box, I do believe, again, don't quote me on that, but on the cover it looks like you're getting 2 controllers. For since you can play Star Fox 2, you have 2 controllers, and the cords are going to be longer, and it's $80. I think this is still a good, reasonable deal. If it was $100, then because remember, this is a novelty item. It's not really a true console. It's just an emulation box. So $100 still might be too high, but 80, I think people are still going to buy it, and it's still going to sell really well. Do I wish it was $50 or $60? Yes, I wish it was $50 or $60. I think $60 or $50 would be the sweet spot, but $80 won't break the bank for a lot of people, and a lot of people are going to want to buy it just because Star Fox 2 is on there. You get 2 controllers, and the games list is very good. Anyway, guys, peace out. I'll see you guys later in my next video. I'm out, guys.